Here are the highlights of race 2. Away they went from the line. Kageyama starting in pole with, unfortunately, Neukirchner not making it to the start. Well, Kageyama didn't last long at the front. Zaus beat him up, so too did Bayliss and Haga. Zaus and Haga then went at it as Massimo Meregali could hardly look. Plenty of overtaking. Kageyama involved in most of it. Corsa going past him. Bayliss then hit the front. And Haga, the pair of them, Zaus and Checker. No love lost there as Checker came through, muscling his way through. Corsa continued to fight. Good weekend for him. Went wide at that particular corner, but he would come back and fight again. And as you can see, almost getting his nose chopped off there by Zaus. Haga and Bayliss at the front continued their battle, and Checker would join it. But bizarrely, Checker would take the front in one of the best moves I've seen in years, taking two of the most experienced riders at the second corner at Valencia in front of all the Spanish fans. Superb stuff. Massimo Meregali then would look on as everybody else did in bewilderment as Carlos Checker would almost pull up, pull out. But it was a traction control problem. He wasn't getting the grip. A bit of a moment there for Haga. Big moment there for Kageyama. Out of the way you go. Carlos Checker starting to make his way back and eventually would get back in to gear. Biaggi, what a weekend for him with that broken wrist, still scoring good points and battling with everybody he could to try and keep up and in contention. But in the end, it was Nitro Nori who came good to take his first victory as Checker is lost in the mist.
I can't wait to hear his story, what happened in that race. It'll be interesting.
Bizarre. Haga, Bayliss, Checker, the top three. Chianari, Corsa, Kageyama, the top six. What happened to Kageyama? Zaus and Biaggi. Zaus winning that game. Laconi and Nieto. La Via getting into top 11 at least, not top 10, but it's points for Paul Bird's team, the new boys to the championship. Lanzi, Fabrizio, Schmerz. Sofoglu scores a point on the other 10-carter bike. And I'm glad to say more finishers in this race. Napoleone, Morales, Tamada.
Of Max Biaggi in a way, because he's come into the series with a bit of a bang, hasn't he? He's always up there now.
Well, Bayliss is creating the biggest bang. 128 at the moment. Still, Fonzi Nieto holds on to second place, and that's significant. Corsa now equal with Checker. So Checker has moved up. Zaus is still in contention with 68 points, but Haga is back in contention now in 6th place. The others are scoring points, and I can imagine that any one of Kageyama, Mugridge, Sofoglu, Chianari, as he proved today, Lavia will come good. All of those guys, and that's what's making this year so interesting, all of those guys who are not in the top 10 right now are going to score, maybe not podiums, but certainly points, are becoming a 3-time world champion.
There's a smiling Haga. I think it's the first time we've seen it this year.
Yep, good to see. And I tell you what, we all want Haga to be in this sort of position because he's one of the most exciting riders in the world, and wherever you go, there are Haga fans. Great Britain have taken him on as one of their own, and everywhere he goes, he is supported as one of the most exciting riders. The riders like to race with him. You tell me, he's one of the closest racers but fairest racers to race with.
He's definitely a fair racer. He'll give you room. The moves that he makes, he doesn't endanger people. I can't remember him taking anyone out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Kageyama he took out once. But other than that,
yeah.
Like for his style of riding, you know, he's a pretty clean rider, really clean. I know there's some riders out there that the guys don't like dicing with, but he's definitely not one of them. And he's also one of the most spectacular riders to watch, as we witnessed at that long left-hand corner on Thursday when he had the thing completely sideways with smoke coming off the rear tyre.
Yep, no doubt about it. The samurai of slide, as they call him.
Impressed by Carlos Checker.
Well, what's not to be impressive? Yeah, he has really arrived in many ways. Want to see all the highlights? Go to worldsbk.com. You can see video, get interviews as we pause for Japan, who are back on top. So Yamaha are back, and so too is Japan's Noriyuki Haga. He's running out of chances to win the title, but he's back into contention, 6th overall. But it's wide open at the moment. Only 3 rounds gone. A long, long way to go till we get to Portugal. And I'll tell you what, we could all be celebrating with Nitro Norrie come the end of the year. Who knows? Certainly Bayliss has got other things to say about that.
I think Bayliss is quite happy to let Norrie beat him at the moment, because A, he likes Norrie, has respect for him, and B, at this stage, he's not a threat in the championship, and he's opened his...
And Bayliss doesn't need to lose 3 more kilograms because his bike's got heavier.
Definitely not.
So, what a weekend. It had everything in many ways, and certainly some surprises.